Okay. That happened. That certainly happened. Yeah. Can't say I saw that coming. Can't say I care as much as I'd like to. Let's get the pleasantries out of the way, shall we? So yeah. Hello everyone. Today we are talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush. I didn't talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Go Rush last week because I found a much more interesting Yu-Gi-Oh! Topic to discuss. But we're going to bring it up this week. And I mean, I feel like this is a big deal. I also don't feel anything. That's not good. Uh Yeah, let's start with last week's episode because we didn't talk about that. And so last week's episode was about Remote Duel. Yeah, you know, that thing everyone loves that isn't just like a hotbed cesspool for cheating and just a myriad of other problems. And also suspiciously a fair chunk of the duelists who did good at those not translating to real life events because, they can't cheat. And I'm not saying everyone who topped remote duel events is cheaters. I'm simply saying you know who you are. Anyways, this was quite painful to sit through because they made us sit through the entire explanation of how you set up remote duel. And we had to sit through like every painstaking problem that Konami is actually willing to acknowledge, as well as their dumb ideas for how you like represent certain things. And I don't like remote duels, so I don't care. And most importantly, if Go Rush and the Rush Duel variant of Yu Gi Oh! Is really meant for children, people who aren't going to set up webcams so they can duel someone on the other side of the country to win a lackluster YCS prize. Y'all getting the problem here? I literally just sat there thinking, what the fuck are we doing? No one fucking cares about this or wants to see this. Also, it's like 80 to 100 years in the future. Why are we still doing webcam duels? Y'all make holograms come up. Remember, like, the last one where there were, like, drones everywhere? Or remember, like, any of the other ones with much crazier technology? And y'all felt like you needed an episode to explain how cool a fucking webcam is. What the actual fuck? Also, I love how it's between two characters I don't care about. Because you've got Asuka, who I've established why I don't like, and you have Manabu's boss, who just hasn't done anything. And she thinks she should be in charge of an operation that's happening like on the other side of the galaxy. Why? Did they explain it? I didn't care. But yeah, and so that duel happens. And then the only other thing really going on is that London and the reporter guy in their smaller spaceship got ahead of everyone else to go talk to the Demon King Ice guy. I don't fucking care. They get ahead where they then have to where they meet not Nail or he is Nail or what I don't fucking know. They meet a guy who looks like Nail wearing the Cyclops' eye visor, who then says, "Okay, you guys are gonna duel for the king, so that way he can learn about dueling, or this is his weird sexual fetish. I have no idea." But essentially, reporter guy loses, and as we see in this episode, when you lose, you are presented with the contents of the inside of a box, and the sight of what is in the box causes you to turn to ice until further notice. I'm assuming it is a picture of the Ice King's junk. You know that's what it probably is. Like, just seeing the bizarre penis and testicles of this man just like causes every law of physics that keeps a human body working to just go awkward and haywire, and you produce ice instead of heat. That is the only logical explanation, and you know it's a better explanation than what it will actually be. But yeah, no. So then we fast forward to this week's episode, which revolves around our main squad and the backup squad who have to come now every single fucking time. Because it's not like what made the last show fun was that you just focused on these four kids. Now you have to have a freaking backup squad all the time. And I know they had other characters tag along a lot in sevens, but these guys feel much more intrusive to me. But yeah, so the aliens cause it to snow in the big space colony of kidnapped people. And we waste way too long on everyone being excited at snow. And then they go into the spaceship where it's literally just the same thing as last time. Nail shows up, brings them where he presents him to the king, and the king is Ice Luke. Actually, you know what? I was pretty harsh on this at the beginning of the video. It is kind of a fun, different take on things. Like, Luke is this hot-headed hero wannabe, and now he's a calm, cool, literally ice-themed villain. Is kind of a fun, unique take. Again, I still have no idea what's really going on with any of these returning characters or whatever they are. So it kind of becomes hard to gauge what's going on. But just like the image of it alone, and then you hear Luke's voice, but now it's all like mature and like calm, is actually kind of fun. And then the minute goes by and the rest of the show continues. Because after that, like, he just doesn't really do anything. Like, he wants a big welcome tournament. There's a joke about oranges or something. And so they start the duel up, and it's him versus Rovian, who I am convinced this show wants to replace Sawatori as the most screwed over Yu-Gi-Oh character is Rovian. Because, like, Rovian was actually really cool at first, but, like, now she's just this weird guitar player who, like, apparently just, like, stumbles through life. And also, she's not saying her poems anymore. I mean, they were never really poems, which was kind of the joke. But, like, now she's just mumbling, and the other girl is still just lesbianing out to this. And I'm just kind of like, this isn't even anything anymore. Y'all are just fucking lazy and don't want to, like, continue your own running gag. Fuck all of you. Also, I keep forgetting that her hat is also an alien. Is it like that last alien and it like plugs directly into her brain? Have they said this? I'm not paying attention at this point. But yeah, so she duels the Lug, and you know what? It is a decent duel. Again, like, she's been presented as powerful, so to see her get taken down so easily is cool in theory, but ruined by the fact that she's been useless this whole time. But yeah, no. So the Lug wins with a Ice Dragon deck. When he summoned Ice Barrel Dragon, all I could think to myself is, call it Ice Barrier Dragon, you cowards! But yeah, summons that, and then brings out a Ice Vanilla counterpart to Drag Ears, which is kind of neat, but again, it's a fucking vanilla. And I've developed such a hatred for normal monsters thanks to this show. But yeah, no, so he wins, and then the process happens, so now he's flashed a little girl. And yeah, we're just gonna proceed with this tournament. Joy, I don't want to watch a tournament again. Please, no more of these. Like, we put everything to a grounded halt so that way we can have 3 or 4 fairly uninteresting duels before the obvious conclusion. That's been like the pattern of both these shows, except this one's not as fun to watch as Seven, so I don't give a shit. But yeah, like, it's just not fun or interesting or entertaining. It's like today, I actually, this where this played into this, but I actually got into a conversation with someone with Sword Art Online. And for those of you who don't know, I hated Sword Art when I first watched it. Just thought it was a really crap, like, teen YA, like, stupidity. But like afterwards, I just never thought about it again until it gets brought up once in a while. And like talking about it with someone today for like a good 10-15 minutes kind of made me realize it's just really boring. It's just not very engaging. It's not all that interesting. And like, this is kind of just the same thing. Like, everything here in theory should get some sort of reaction out of me, but I just don't care. Like, just nothing's very interesting. I mean, I want to see what happens with these revelations, what's going on with everybody, but how many more just filler episodes and overly long, bland tournament arcs are you gonna make me sit through? Now, for those of you who don't know, today, or this has probably been around for a few days, but just getting brought up today, with all the crazy leaks for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the air dates and episode titles for what are looking like the last few episodes of the Pokemon anime are out there. And it's kind of a crazy, surreal feeling the show is ending until you realize no, this actually kind of makes sense. Like, obviously, we don't have an official reason yet, and we don't know when, or when we'll learn it. But if we were to take a guess, it's probably what's affecting the whole industry now. Rising production costs, need to meet demand, and a quality level to meet demand, just not being practical anymore on the way you're doing things. And I'm kind of wondering, I'm like, if fucking Pokemon couldn't keep up with it, and if other card game anime contemporary Cardfight Vanguard also gave up and has seen a lot of success and respect by switching over, where does this leave Yu-Gi-Oh? I mean, it goes to make the argument, where does it leave the anime industry together with like One Piece and Boruto still continuing this really bad structure? But just something to think about. Just this video's got on long enough, so I'll just leave it to you with that. But as for the TCG question of the week, OTS Pack 21 was revealed yesterday. And if I'm reading this right, they just told us all three ultis were going to be for this new, like, Viscous Starfrost storyline thing, I guess, that's going on. And it's a Sprite card, a tier limit card. I know that Sprite was the ending of the last storyline, but you get my point. And a Bysteel card. And I'm kind of bored by just knowing what it is ahead of time. And also, it's just the three meta relevant archetypes, in which case, I don't think Bysteel really deserves it. I think MPEM much deserves an ulti more. But my question to you is, are you okay with these being the three types getting ultis? Are you not? Like I said, I feel like MPEM, or even fuck, give it to a runic spell, would be a lot more interesting. But give me your thoughts about that in the comments section below. And as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and let's see if things get more interesting.